Hello, FME friends. Welcome to what I think is day 8 of the 12 Days of FME. And of course, it's 14 days, so we're just halfway through now. Basically, we started on Tuesday last week, and we're pretty much exactly 1 week since we started. It's been quite a few days, not least because some of the reports you saw on the interface were wrong, shall we put it that way. You'll notice they were all reports that had to do with measuring distances to things, finding the closest nearest neighbor, because it turns out that's quite hard when you include round the world data and you have to cross the not the date line, it's the 180-degree line. I guess it is close to the date line. And I tested those reports really thoroughly when we did a test run, and they still broke, because of course they did. So I've been working on fixing those, and I think I've got them sorted out now. So the fastest balloon report is now correct. The closest to safe report is correct. I haven't looked at the airport close shaves yet, but that's not a scoring, it's not a prize-winning category, so that wasn't really my priority there. Anyway, let's have a look at where we are so far. So I fixed the speed record, and the fastest is Alaska Map Science, 373 kilometers an hour. It's very close. Yeah, we were getting numbers like 500 and something, which was just totally crazy. So, I fixed that, and hopefully that won't happen again. Although even these speeds are pretty amazing considering what we got in the test run. We never got more than like 250 at most. So, hey, the weather has just been absolutely perfect for us with that big sort of rush of air all the way across Asia. It's just incredible. So total distance measurements, Dean in the lead there. You'll notice that these records, like who's the furthest north, who's the furthest south, and it used to say east-west, but now it just tells you who's crossed the date line, because obviously at that point, the furthest east is the furthest west. So that's it automatically changes to that. We've had about 20 different balloons fly over the date timeline, whatever. You know what we mean. It's the 180-degree line. So, well done to everyone who's done that. I noticed the furthest north, Vector Geo, got up to 89 degrees north, which is pretty spectacular. That's very, very close to the pole, obviously. And we'll have a look at their balloon shortly, because, wow, that really did have a journey. Dirk de Balloonvaarder, he's in the lead for the most countries crossed over, although this is a very close category again, and it won't take much before I think other people are this is going to change regularly, I guess is what I'm saying. But we'll have to see when. These are all the countries we've flown over, which is quite incredible now. Wow, what have we missed anything? It's just so, like, we've covered so many of them, and okay, we've got 300 balloons doing it, but even so, this is pretty special. And we'll look at that data in a moment, because I want to mention little bits of interest about that. Who's flown over the most airports? That's a tie right now. 20 airports. If you look at the map of China, eastern China especially, it's like a total minefield of airports you're trying to thread your way through. And Oz FME, well, they hit just about every one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Chinese airports, then the spaceport and the Japanese airport as well, before they headed out over the Pacific. So yeah, they pretty much maximized their airport flyovers, whereas Mortham GIS Wizards, who collected just about everything in Europe, only got one China, and then a few. Are they Japan? I think they might be Japan as well. So again, that's still a close one. And once you get over to the Americas, there's a few more there to fly over as well. The close shaves, I haven't looked at that yet, but it's very those numbers look dubious to me, so I'll fix that up. Who's closest to safe? Well, okay, this is definitely working now. I fixed this up. Julian got within 1,761 kilometers. Yeah, there's that. Ironically, the one team that's flown over Canada is not even on that top 10 list. So it just proves Canada's such an amazingly huge country. First to fly over North America was Alaska Map Science. That's interesting because somebody else flew over Hawaii first, but I guess maybe that doesn't count as a North American continent. I didn't even think about that, but so Alaska Map Science were the first to fly over North America, but didn't actually fly. They weren't the first to fly over the USA, which is very odd. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, they did fly over Alaska, so that's very very fitting there. And the countries, well, last time we did a review, we were up to about here, and wow, we just covered so much more. Wow. In fact, just very recently, today, we've covered Qatar, Vietnam, Laos. We had the first fly over Canada. Someone managed Somalia. Wow, that's great. USA, Senegal, Portugal. So we picked off all the big countries in Europe again. Portugal and Ireland were there somewhere. So those were the last two big countries in Europe that we hadn't covered. Let's have a look. Actually, did anybody go over Malta? I'm going to have to do a... No, but that's interesting. But I'm going to have to look at that again. Just because anyway, you'll see in a second. So yeah, so those are leading the categories right now. Let's have a look who's leading the league table, because I think this has changed. Community Cats were top for the longest time, but now they've been overtaken there. So they're still very close at the top of the leaderboard. I think it shows how important it is to get the most countries in. If you don't get the most countries in, then you're not gonna win, I don't think. So yeah. So congratulations to Dirk de Balloonvaarder, if I'm pronouncing that right. Community Cats, Alaska Map Science, anybody in like the top 100 is doing really well, I think. And this table does change quite a bit. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. But remember, the top two are prize winners. Oops. So yeah, the top two will win a prize. So yeah, keep logging those points that we're only halfway through. And now I think it's going to become a slog to try and direct your balloon to try and pick up different countries and earn extra points like that. So now the navigation part is really important. We scroll to the bottom, 302. Wow, we have got 302 teams now entered, which is pretty incredible. Green lasers down at the bottom on -1. That is really impressive. 7 countries, but 15 airports. Wow, that is certainly some going there. And Bananas looks like they just launched their balloon because there's no value now for any of those. So they'll get some numbers as soon as they start moving. Yeah, so wow, 300 teams. So if you're in the top 100, the top 50, top 10, wow, you are doing really well. Let's have a look at where some of the balloons are. I'm going to turn that on here, turn on the safe office, the airports, and see where we are. Actually, I'm going to turn my balloon off because it's a bit distracting having the darker line on there. Notice that it's taking longer for the data to come back than it used to because obviously there's a lot more going on now. So yeah, it's quite incredible. Well, the one incredible thing is, I can't remember which team this was, but I'll tell you in a second. Like flew across Russia up, like above where, because Leaflet doesn't like to map above 85 degrees. What would be really cool if I could get a polar projection map, and I might have a look at that if I can. But they went up to past 85 degrees, flew around the pole, and then started heading down south. So they're, who was it again? Vector G, excuse me. So they're the ones that actually flew over Canada first, but are not within any distance of the Vancouver office at SAFE. Let's have a look at these guys, because I was tracking them because it was fun to watch them miss Greenland, and wow, they're in a bit of a loop in Europe now. We can see where that big, strong flow of air flew everyone across here, and wow, we seem to have an errant line there. I'll have to have a look at that to see why it's like that. But yeah, we've got all these balloons, so Julian and Shadow Bunnies. You can see that they'll probably be on the closest to a SAFE list if I just turn off the airports. Yeah, so SAFE offices here. So I'm hoping that some people will get to fly over Canada and the US around this part. That would be really cool to see. Yeah, let's see what else is going on. Oh, the other balloon I really love to watch is this one here. Like they've flown. Well, where did they come from? Because I think this is quite a journey they took. Yeah, they just flew down south, and when everybody else turned east, they managed to pick up the wind to turn west. And somehow, I don't know how, they're at an altitude that's finding winds to take them across the Atlantic in a westerly direction, which is incredible. They're not going very fast, but the fact that it's happening at all is quite incredible. So I'm hoping that they're going to make a crossing into South America, which will be fantastic, because we never got anywhere close to South America in our test run. So that'd be really cool to see. So yeah, that is Bartolomeu do Gusmão. Yeah, they're from Brazil, so hey, maybe they'll even fly over Brazil. That would be fantastic. Love to see that. That name, I think, is the name of a famous balloonist from South America. So, and I know a few of you have named your balloons after famous balloonists. Some of you have given the balloons amusing names. Some of them just say which company or who you are or that sort of thing. So it's really been fun to see that. What have we got there? Okay, so the one thing I wanted to talk about in terms of team names, I picked a short list of, I picked a short list of like 20, 25 different names I thought were really amusing. They included the balloon sort of concept or flying, and I thought they were really fun. And I got ChatGPT to help me, and it picked out its favorites as well, and we squashed it down to this short list of 10, and I asked everybody at SAFE to vote for their favorite balloon name, and the winner was Kiwis Can Fly. So that is our favorite balloon name at SAFE. I got to admit, I like NI Water balloons, which I assume is a balloon for Northern Ireland water. And there was a Floaty McFloat face and a Balloony McBalloon face as well. But yeah, Kiwis Can Fly. So there's no prize for that, but I'll give them an honorary badge on the community, an honorary winner's badge. When we sort out all the winners, everyone will get a special gold badge on the community, and we'll give one to Kiwis Can Fly as well. So if that's you, congratulations on having our favorite balloon name. Fewer moose errors. Oh wow, I mean ChatGPT loved that one, gave it 10 out of 10 and said it was the best name out of all of them. So there you go. But the human element, we preferred Kiwis Can Fly. So I was going to talk about data. There's data downloads, remember, and it's been great to see. All the time I've been having problems with some of the reports. People have been pointing it out to me because they've been downloading the data and using it to prove that my numbers were wrong somehow. So that's fantastic to actually see people are using that data and downloading it and checking things out. And one of the things I did with the data, I just downloaded it, and I had a workspace here Let me zoom in a bit. So this workspace reads all of the countries, all of the events that have happened, filters the country by continent, and filters the people who have crossed over that country. Basically what I'm trying to do here is find out which countries in Europe we haven't flown over yet, and there are only 3 of them: Gibraltar, San Marino, and the Vatican, which sort of surprised me because I thought Malta would be a country, but maybe not. But Gibraltar, San Marino, and the Vatican City we haven't flown over yet. That's why I was confused that little bit earlier when we looked at Malta and it wasn't on there. So, see, I could have swore that was its own country. Yeah. Huh. I'll have to have a look why that, maybe why it's not come up here, or maybe someone flew over it between the time I opened that report and now. So, but I'll have a look at that. But yes, only 3 or 4 different countries in Europe we haven't crossed over: Gibraltar, San Marino, and the Vatican. And I think it's going to be next to impossible to fly over the Vatican. So, and we could also do the same thing for Asia. So I could say, which countries have we not flown over in Asia? And I suspect there'll be quite a few more of these. Ah, hey, not many. Wow. Bahrain, Brunei, Indian Ocean Territories, East Timor, Macau, Scarborough Reef, and the Spratly Islands. Wow. And Thailand. It says we haven't flown over any of those. So I'll have a look at that. Maybe my report's, I don't know. We'll see. But, and we have flown over 58 different countries. So I was looking for Malaysia, but yeah, apparently we've flown over that. So, wow, that is pretty incredible that we've, excuse me, flown over all of those countries. Wow. Okay, well, on the subject of downloading data and using it, don't forget that there is a prize for the person who does the best best visualization, best analysis and visualization of the data during the contest. It's like $100 US Amazon gift card, so it's worth having that. So since we're a week into the contest, probably worth looking at that now. I think we'll close it at the same time as the main contest closes, just so we can figure out who's won which prize and do it all at the same time. So what I'll do is I'll put a thread up in the on the forums for you to post your visualizations. I also am going to post some ideas as well, like what could you visualize and things like that, because I had a few ideas. Let me just pick them out. Yeah, so some of the ideas was, could you analyze, did any balloons crash into each other? Because I didn't test for that. So if not, what was the closest 2 balloons came to each other at any point in time? That'd be a good analysis. Who did the most efficient route? Like if you look at their starting point and their end point, what was the shortest distance and how long did it take them to get there, and find out who's got the most efficient route, like their traveled route is actually closest to the shortest possible route between those 2 points. So that will be a good analysis, I think. You visualize the data over time so you can see a balloon moving around. Maybe a heat map of balloon tracks. Maybe you could do a visualization of the leaderboard and how it changed over time. Maybe visualize the top half of the leaderboard against the bottom half and see where the bottom half went wrong and where the top half went right, because they obviously did. Yeah, I mean, all sorts of things you could do, really. So please do think about that and have a go at creating a visualization. And like I said, I'll create a thread in the forum to add that to. Okay, well, I think that's enough for today. This is going really well, I think, all things considered. There's a few little bumps in the road, but nothing too bad. I've sorted out all the reports now, I think. So yeah, thanks for taking part. Thanks for all your comments saying how much you've enjoyed this, because to be honest, I've enjoyed it as well, looking where all the balloons are going. So yeah, so thanks for that, and I'll do another report in a couple of days' time. So cheers, folks. Bye.